What do you think? Why they return after you go? No contact. Have you ever noticed that the moment you decide to walk away, the person who hurt you suddenly shows up again? It's almost like clockwork. You're finally focusing on yourself, healing, moving forward, and then, boom, there they are. A text, a call, a random like on your old picture, and suddenly you start questioning everything. Do they miss me? Have they finally realized what they lost? But listen, this isn't some grand love story where they have had an epiphany and now want to make things right. No, this is about something else entirely. Their return isn't about you, it's about them. Their ego, their fear of losing control, their need to know they can still pull you back anytime they want. Think about it. When you were available, they took you for granted. But the moment you pull away, the moment they feel that void, they panic. They start feeling the weight of your absence. Not because they've suddenly grown, but because they've lost their source of validation. And today, I'm going to break down exactly why they always come back after you go no contact, and why you need to see through the illusion before you let them back in. Point 1. Your silence shocks them. Alright, let me break it down for you. When you go no contact, it shakes her, not because she suddenly realized how much she loves you, but because she lost control. She assumed you'd always be there, always be an option, but when you go silent, that's when she starts questioning everything. Let me give you an example. Ever heard of Johnny Cash and June Carter? Before they became the legendary couple everyone remembers, Johnny was in a toxic cycle with his first wife, Vivian. She had him wrapped around her world, and he kept chasing, hoping things would change. But the moment Johnny walked away, the moment he stopped fighting for someone who no longer valued him, that's when everything shifted. He disappeared into his music, found his purpose, and focused on his growth. And what happened? The same woman who once took him for granted started regretting everything. But by then, he had already evolved. He had become the man he was meant to be. That's exactly what happens when you go no contact. Your silence forces her to feel the loss. It makes her realize she never had control. She just had access. But here's the catch. Just because she misses you doesn't mean she's changed. Just because she comes back doesn't mean she deserves you. Stay focused. Stay strong. Let her wonder. Point 2. They hate losing control. Let's be real. Some women don't get into relationships for love. They get into them for control. As long as she knew you were still emotionally hooked, she felt like she had the upper hand. It gave her a sense of power, knowing you'd always be there, always waiting, always hoping. But the second you pull away, that's when things shift. Suddenly, the security she took for granted is gone. She starts feeling that loss, that emptiness, and instead of reflecting on her own behavior, she panics. And what does she do? She starts reaching out. Maybe it's a random text, something harmless like, "Hey, how have you been?" Or she starts posting more, suddenly trying to look like she's living her best life. Maybe she even throws in a little jealousy bait, pictures with someone new, just vague enough to make you wonder. But trust me, this isn't about love. It's about checking if she still has a grip on you. See, when someone thrives on control, your silence isn't just a loss, it's a threat. It forces them to face a reality they never prepared for. She always assumed you'd be there, that no matter what she did, she could come back whenever she wanted. And when you take that option away, that's when she starts scrambling. But here's where most men mess up. They see that message, that like on an old picture, and they start thinking, maybe she misses me, maybe she's changed. And the moment you respond, even just a little, you prove her right. You show her she still has space in your mind. And once she knows that, the chase is over. She got her reassurance and she can go right back to how she was before. That's why when you walk away, you stay away. Don't let her sudden attention fool you. It's not a grand realization. It's not some movie moment where she finally sees your worth. It's just her trying to hold on to control. And the best thing you can do, take that control away for good. Point 3. They confuse their own feelings. Let's get one thing straight. Just because they come back doesn't mean they love you. People confuse emotions all the time. They don't actually miss you. They miss how you made them feel. They miss the comfort, the attention, the way you made their life easier. They miss being wanted. See, when someone loses a good thing, their first instinct isn't deep self-reflection, it's panic. They start feeling that emptiness, and instead of asking themselves why they lost you, they just want to fill the void. That's when the messages come in. I miss you. I've changed. I was stupid. But here's the question. Have they actually done any real work on themselves? Have they healed? Have they grown? Or do they just miss the version of you that put them first while they gave you the bare minimum? Most of the time, it's not love, it's withdrawal. They got used to the attention, the care, the security you provided. And now that it's gone, they feel the loss, but that doesn't mean they've changed. Real love doesn't require absence to be recognized. If someone truly valued you, they wouldn't have waited until you were gone to see it. So don't mistake loneliness for love. When they come back, don't just listen to their words, watch their actions. Because if they really cared, they wouldn't have let you go in the first place. Point 4. She tries to replace you and fails. You ever notice how fast some women move on? 1 minute, she's all emotional, acting like you were the problem, and the next, she's suddenly in a perfect new relationship. Posting pictures, smiling like she's never been happier, making sure you see it. But let's be real, if she was truly happy, she wouldn't need to put on a show. See, when you go no contact, she expects you to chase, to check in, to wonder what she's up to. But when you don't, that's when the panic sets in. And instead of sitting with that discomfort, she does the easiest thing possible. She finds someone new. Not because she's moved on, but because she needs a distraction. She needs someone to fill the space you left, someone to validate her so she doesn't have to face the truth. But here's the thing, distractions don't last. The honeymoon phase fades, the excitement wears off, and that new guy, he's not you. Because it was never about him in the first place. It was about avoiding the reality that she lost someone who actually cared. And that's when you start seeing the signs. The late night "I miss you" texts. The random "how have you been" messages. The sudden likes on pictures she ignored when you were together. Not because she's changed, not because she suddenly respects you, but because she finally realizes what she lost. By then, it's too late, and that's exactly how it should be. 5. Your best response, stay unbothered. The hardest part of no contact isn't ignoring her messages, it's resisting the urge to fall for the games. Because trust me, she will play them. She'll come back with apologies, sweet words, and remember when stories, trying to reel you back in. Maybe she'll even act like she's changed, like she's finally realized your worth. But here's the question you need to ask yourself. Does her return align with my growth? If the answer is no, keep moving forward. You've come too far to let someone who didn't value you the first time come back and mess with your peace. If she truly respected you, she wouldn't have needed your absence to appreciate you. Silence is your power. Let her wonder why you're not responding. Let her sit with her regret. That's her problem, not yours. Stay unbothered, stay focused, because the moment you stop looking back, that's when you reel. At the end of the day, no contact isn't about her, it's about you. It's about taking back your power, breaking the cycle, and becoming the man you were always meant to be. Because here's the truth, when you finally let go, when you stop looking back, you'll realize something life-changing. You never needed her, she needed you. So when she comes knocking, don't answer. When she suddenly remembers your worth, don't entertain it. Keep your focus forward, because your future, it's too valuable to waste on someone who only saw your worth after you walked away.